This is actually the end of the project, and salvaging from the scrapyard my handy little Aldi's cheap cordless tools by putting DeWalt batteries on with adapters, because the batteries are now unobtainium. They were Ni Cad to start with. Ni Cad famously goes dead as it sits, whereas the lithium ion stays charged up. And the adapters only cost $5. I've worked through the bugs of getting it wired in on this battery that I've searched and I cannot find it. It's got a Makita post, but it's got a weird shape. And it has to clip on with the weird shape. So I actually lost the charger. But my DeWalt charger went south. I bought one from Temu. Can't find the charger. Ni Cads go dead anyway. My lithium, I bought a charger from Temu because 20 volt max is going to be around for a while. I also have an off-brand router that I can't get batteries for. So I made a project of getting some more life out of these things instead of throwing away the tools. Come along for the ride. Let's make a video about power tool batteries. These are lithium ion DeWalts. I've got batteries for these. I have batteries for some older Ni Cad ones, but Ni Cad has its drawbacks, and these aren't even available anymore. They are a very generic Makita type post for a rectangle battery. It's a 18 volt and a 19.2 volt. I can't even find my charger for it. But these days, there's a lot of adapters that can turn around and take 20 volt max and put it onto any other tool. So what I bought was 4 of these on Amazon for $20. That's $10 for 2. So slips right on to 20 volt max, and now you have a fused set of wires to go to it, which means that if I take apart the batteries on these and adapt it, plug the wire into the top post terminals, I can get these tools to run on my DeWalt batteries and get rid of the Ni Cads. Right here, the 3 Ni Cad batteries that are going to go in my oddball tool brand saws that is still usable for me. I'm not a professional carpenter, so they're handy. I've got 120 volts, but there's always a handy time for the battery powered ones. I've got the adapters, which are actually wired, and they're meant for the little kids' battery powered go-kart type vehicles, so that you can run them off of power tool batteries. But being wired like that means that I can easily adapt them. These batteries have screws that'll let it open up to get to the inside. This one right here has been unscrewed. There's the top post. There's the battery container. There's your Ni Cad battery sets that are all put together with nickel strips, each one 1.2 volt, 15 of them to make 18 volts. Up in the top of the post is this little plastic piece which has our metal contacts on the two sides. Now, because I'm going to be taking this adapter and using my 20 volt max to go to this set of contacts in this tool, I don't have to worry about a temperature contact for a charger, because I'll be charging these on the DeWalt charger that has its own thing to take care of temperature problems with the battery. Any temperature problems with these are going away because the battery is going to be empty. The only thing this is being saved for is the two clip buttons that attach it to my tool. The wires will go to the correct terminals, and it's marked as positive and negative on the top. The fuse will be inside of this. There's two screw holes to attach it to the bottom of this. Now, it is thin plastic, so here I am with the Trex deck stuff again, but this is just the trim type board. So it's 3/4 inch thick, it's a plastic, it's non-conductive, and a piece that's 3 or so inches long will drop right inside. Now, in order to keep these terminals up in the top when it plugs in, not have them shift out of position, I'm just going to take CPVC water pipe, which on its inside diameter is 3/4. Its outside diameter is 7/8, which will match up to the battery's outside diameter. When I cut a piece that's long enough that it'll sit on top of this and go up into the post, it will hold contacts in the original positions. This piece in the bottom is to strengthen up the thin walled plastic so that I can screw this on and not have to worry about cracking the plastic with two little screws. I'll have a nice thick support holding on to even an 8 or 12 amp hour battery that allow me to run my old tools for a longer period of time. Okay, now we'll get into some of the exploded view type situations. And what we want to do is take the screws out, take the top off, take the batteries out, which will end up having this still connected by nickel strips that are soldered. So I just clip them off with cutters. These things can be kind of fragile. If you look, there's a little plastic nub. That's all that's really retaining this onto this plastic. This one actually kind of broke off on me. Hot glue fixed that. Just a lot of hot glue over the little black tab, and it's back on secure enough. Now, these that I clipped, I left enough so that I'll be able to solder the wires from this onto those terminals right there. Now, when I do that, I'm going to feed them up through CPVC pipe. Now, what this is going to do this piece of plastic of those dimensions, 3 5/8 by 2 5/8. This is a 3/4 inch thick piece of trim plastic like Trek stick. This is going to go in the bottom. These are going to stack onto it and go up into the tower. Now this CPVC is very similar in size to the batteries. When I measured out the height of all of this battery, I found that on top of the on top of the 3/4 inch piece, a piece that's 2 5/8 plus a 30-second, 2 and 21 30-seconds, will turn around, and between this and this, I will get the same height as a battery pack. What that will do for me is it will hold my contact pieces up inside of the tower so that they stay in place like the original batteries. So there's going to be 2 of these. Wires from the adapter will come up through the bottom of this with this piece down in there, screwed all together through it to hold the adapter onto the bottom. The wires will come up through the PVC and be soldered onto the contacts. Now, when that is all together, those are slipped inside. That's all as one unit. There's where my screws are going to go. There's where my contacts are. The CPVC is visible through the thermal slot, which is unnecessary in our case. No rattle, which means that it's holding it in place right now so that these terminals won't move when it's clicked in on my tool. And I'll have this screwed on tight on the bottom. The wires are plenty long enough to reach up through there and have some slack to play with when I put it all together. Now, many people know soldering, but for those who may not know every detail about it, this is called tinning cleaner. That inside is a paste. When you take a clean tip and dip it in there, it'll silver the end of that, just as if I had taken solder and put it on. It will clean it and silver it at the same time to get a good connection. Where you make the connections, you're going to want rosin flux paste. I've used the plumbing type. It does work, not great. It's kind of messy, kind of dirty. You can buy this. I got it on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. This one is made for electronics, makes a nice clean connection. So at that point, we will have replaced this with wired batteries up through the top, stable connections. This, with its adapter, will now be a DeWalt battery clipped onto here. And it'll be lithium ion, so no more batteries going dead from just sitting. Also, I only have to buy one brand of battery. I don't have to get batteries for this tool and that tool and that tool. Some points of interest to go along with all of this. You see PVC, it's cheap. And got that at Home Depot, was no Lowe's. Got mine from Lowe's, was $8 for 5 feet of it. I only need about 1.5 feet to do the 3 batteries, so I got plenty of it around. From Harbor Freight, the little cutter wheel is for chopping down the lengths that you need of the PVC off of the long piece. Handy little tool, it'll cut copper pipe as well. Solder, some rosin core, small diameter, will make your soldering go a lot faster. When you buy these, make sure you get one that's fused. You don't want these things burning up, especially with lithium-ion batteries. You don't want it drawing too much current. So these, the ones that come for the kids' toys, have 30 amp fuses put in line already.